Hey everyone, welcome back to TBM Sports. Let's get it. We have a lot to talk about around the MLB. We'll break down the 15 games in play today. I'll give you guys my best bets. We will have 4 of them. A lot of things to talk about along the way as well. Before we get this one going, guys, if you are new to the channel, help us out. Like, comment, and subscribe down below if you can, as well as follow me on X at The Better Mark is where you'll find me over there on the X machine. We'll talk about my 4 best bets and what we have going on around the country. And let's just touch upon a few things right now as we get going. And guys, great day to be alive. This is where we saw the Knicks close out the Spurs last evening. The World Cup is in play. It's nice to see all of this action for all you soccer backers out there. And as well, we get UFC 250 tonight. That is a great sporting event. I can't wait to tune in for that one. I know it's a Sunday, but still, nonetheless, I will be firmly watching that historic sporting event that we will have on the lawn of the White House. And it's one that, guys, we also can couple that within the Stanley Cup Finals. All right, so be very interesting if we can close out both of these championship series over the weekend. I got to give it to the Vegas Knights, though. I think we might be able to see this one extended a little bit as we get going. Okay, so let's talk about the best bets. We will use Outlier to break this all down. Yesterday, not the best day. We did see an 0-2 on my best bets. The Milwaukee Brewers did not come through for us on the run line, but still, guys, that's the right handicap. 12 hits, and you had 8 runs scored on a run line play at plus 160. I stand by that, and I know it didn't come through, but anytime you can get 8 runs at home against a team that's in the bottom 10 in baseball for hitting the baseball, you can't really count in a 17-hit performance on the road. So it is what it is. The Phillies took care of business, and we'll give some credit where credit's due. Look to move on from that one. And then, as always, guys, the Marlins kind of fell flat on their face. Only 7 hits, 2 runs plated. And we did not get the job done over there as well. Okay, but let's look at it today. We will talk about a lot of these games in action. Let's start it off with the Marlins and the Pirates. This is the 12:15 first pitch there on the East Coast. Wind will be howling out at PNC Park, and it is Paul Skeens Day. Okay, generally, as you look at the Skeens numbers, and this is one where you almost want to go against him anytime he does pitch, right? 6-5 on the year, 2.84 ERA. It's not the Paul Skeens that we're used to. He's going to give you about 5+ innings guaranteed, 6 innings, a lot of strikeouts, but he has been giving up the long ball. I think the Marlins will be able to score a little bit. Total set at 7.5. Going against Meyer, though, on the other end of the ballpark for the Marlins, it's a one that he has been outstanding, though. From a pitching standpoint, at face value, he has been the better pitcher for the course of this season. Marlins stay hot, though. Winners of 8 of their last 10, plus 140. The Pirates have only won 3 games in their last 10 games played. I'd find no really other way to play this outside of taking the Marlins plus 140 on the money line. If you were going to force me, I won't touch any pitcher stuff, but I do think Meyer throws well against Pittsburgh. A lower scoring affair if you think that Skeens does take care of business. Okay, no play for me, though, in that game. Seattle and Washington. Look for Seattle to kind of win this, close out a rubber match against the Nats. Nats at home have always been a good play for the team total. However, they do roll out Miles Mikolas going against Emerson Hancock. Seattle's pitching does take a little bit of a hit on the road. This is where you'll find him 5-2 on the year, 2.74 ERA. I don't mind the Seattle side at minus 135 if you were going to force me, but the Washington Nationals, as they have been victorious in 50% of their last 10, this is where I could see the Nats scoring enough to kind of keep this one in play if you were looking into this. But from a pitching standpoint, this is where it's Mariners or pass if we are going to look at this rubber match. Okay, San Diego and Baltimore. We get Walker Buehler going against Trevor Rogers. Those 2 names put together equal runs, okay? Total set at 10.5 at plus 115. I don't like playing that. If you look at the Padres, they do have trouble scoring. We will get Camden howling out to center as well. So if we were going to back this game, this is where I would look for runs on both sides. I know that San Diego has been a little bit lackluster as you do look at some of their team numbers and you want to talk about it. This is where we could go down the board and you'd find them kind of middle of the pack, and Baltimore has been top 10 in runs, so that's something that you want to take into the equation. I would see a way that the Baltimore Orioles do score. Probably like them a little bit more at -130. I just don't like Trevor Rogers, but I think both of these teams score enough here at 135 first pitch to get 10 runs. I don't like the 10.5, but I think that we will get a little bit of a run expectation here in this afternoon game, so I would look at the over as probably being the only way to play this game. Yankees and Blue Jays, still the judgeless Yankees coming back after winning 6 of their last 10 and 6 of their last 8 if you want to make it a little bit more finer tuned. And going against the Blue Jays, +110 at home with Patrick Corbin on the bump. Will Warren has been phenomenal, 7-1 on the season. Kind of like the Yankees here, -126, cheaper price for the Yankees and the stripes, pinstripes there on the road. Yankees are passed for me despite their poor track record, kind of as we've seen them without Judge, but I think that the Yankees do enough here to get the win at a -126 price. First official best bet will be the Braves and the Mets. All right, this is the kind of the bet that does give me a little bit of a cause for pause. It's a fishy number. I don't agree with it. I think it's mispriced. Elder has been serviceable going against Freddie Peralta, who has been very much not his form from what we've seen in Milwaukee. And looking at Freddie Peralta over his last couple starts, this is where he's basically been averaging about 4 earned runs per start. Okay, here we are at New York, and when we look at this game, Citi Field, wind will be blowing out as well, and the Mets with Freddie Peralta, this is a fade candidate here. I think his earned runs going over. I think you can take the Braves here +108, very cheap price on the road. They did win last night, and winners of 6 of their last 10 if we are going to look at it in a vacuum. I like the Braves here +108. I think it's a great price, like Atlanta on the side, and I will take the Braves here at +108 and backing Bryce Elder as we do look for this game. 140 first pitch. Diamondbacks and the Reds. This is one game that if these teams weren't playing in their current form, looking at the Reds and the Diamondbacks, they are in the bottom 5 in baseball in runs scored. Looking at the OPS numbers as well, we can take into consideration that outside of the Diamondbacks and I think the Reds, it's where we find them in the bottom 10, 23rd, and 28th, respectively. Just not hitting the baseball enough for me to take the over at 10 runs. I don't think we get 10 here. I could see it, but this is kind of a contrarian number if we are going to look into not having both lineups kind of playing in their current form. They've been winners of 3 of their last 10. I know that the pitching matchups with Zach Gallen and Andrew Abbott do kind of equal runs, give us that consideration to get 10 runs or more. I just don't see it with these lineups right now. So as much as I'd like to take the over here, we're going to pass on this game, and that's kind of how I see it moving forward. Okay, now Cleveland, winners of their last 2. As we do look at those OPS numbers and talk about the Guardians, they're bottom of the pack here, okay? And it's shocking. We talked about that Braves best bet. And the reason why I think the Braves are plus money is because Guardians are in the last place in OPS over the last 7 days. Well, you're going to find the Braves right 1 notch above them, okay? So 2 of the worst teams in their current form. Guardians roll out the likes of Gavin Williams going against Casey Mize. It's a pitching matchup that does dictate Cleveland should have the better side. -110, it's a coin flip game. He does give up the long ball. That's the only thing that does give me some cause for pause. What right field, the wind will be blowing out, so I do foresee about 2-3 home runs here in this game. And as we do look at it, it's a coin flip game, okay? Yes, Cleveland has the better pitcher going. No, I don't trust them, okay? So if we are going to talk about this, it's a dead coin flip. Casey Mize has been serviceable, 2-3 on the year, 2.27 ERA. I kind of like the Detroit side contrarianly if we are going to talk about -105, but it's one where Cleveland has won their last 2 against the Tigers, so ruling that can't rule out a sweep here for this Sunday. So this is going to be a pass for me as well. Okay, next best bet we will talk about. This is where we look and find the Philadelphia Phillies going against the Milwaukee Brewers. Excuse me. This is something where we could talk about the great pitching matchup we do have in store. As you do look at Christopher Sanchez, the Cy Young run does continue. Going against Harrison there, 7-1 on the year and 2.72 ERA for the Brew Crew. This is one where I could see a very low scoring game. 6.5 is a total that I do think should be appreciated. If you wanted to get into some finer numbers and just think that these lineups just don't hit the ball, I would potentially even play this in alternate under 4.5, something like that. But as we do look at Christopher Sanchez and the best bet that we will have in store, we're going to look into kind of his numbers here. And this is where you're going to find the bottom of your screen here. You're going to find his outs set at 19.5. So essentially, you're going to need him to go 6 2/3, which he has done in 8 straight games. Looking at some of his starts as well, he will throw more pitches on the road. Okay, so when he does have that pitch count up, you do have the tendency to not get through a lot of the batters and get the outs needed. But he has thrown 7 innings in his last 3 starts. Also before that, 8, 9, 7, 8, and that was pretty much for the month of May. As you get back in April, that's where he was kind of tapered a little bit, as you did see only basically a maximum of 6 innings completed, so 18 outs. Don't really want to get involved with the under 18.5, 19.5 within Christopher Sanchez. Very shockingly, though, under 18.5 is -110 at MGM. Under 19.5 is -103 on DK. So it's betting against 7 innings pitched with the way Philly hit the baseball yesterday on the road. You know, it's something where if he does get a little bit of a distance between the separation within the Phillies being out in front, he could stay in the game longer. I don't want to back the under. I don't want to back earned runs either, because Philly could break out as well. But I thought this prop was very interesting, and that's what we're going to play here. The under 8.5. It has hit in 7 straight games. Under 8.5. This will be hits, walks, earned runs, only offered by DraftKings at +103. So anytime we can find some value on plus money, that's what we're going to take. So looking at this from an earned run standpoint, if he gives us his maximum over the course of June and even into May, where he did not allow 1 earned run, looking at the June numbers, if we get 3 earned, okay, he's only walked 1 or 2 batters. That gets us to 5, and then you're going to need 4 hits to basically take us over that total. I don't think we get the earned runs. I don't think we get the hits over 5. So I think there's a lot of value taking Christopher Sanchez under 8.5 hits, walks, and earned runs combined. I think that's the best value play on the board. Probably my favorite bet of the day, and an interesting way to take Christopher Sanchez here in this spot. Okay, so under 8.5 hits, walks, earned combined at +103. Now, the other way that you could play this game is you could look into taking some of a same game parlay. If you can couple these things together, if you can take his outs or even strikeouts in some form or fashion, combine that with a lower total, you can get some value here, in my opinion. If you want to take Christopher Sanchez in the same game parlay, this is where you could get some good value as well, potentially like an under 8.5. With 5 or 6 strikeouts, some very juiced up numbers put together in getting yourself into that +120, +130 territory. I think you could explore that avenue with Christopher Sanchez. I just don't think you need to. We're going to take that +103 there for the hits, walks, and earned runs avenue for the props combined here in this spot. Okay. Next best bet we will look at, this will be the Dodgers and the White Sox. The White Sox +165 on the money line going against the Dodgers. And for this game, we will see Sheehan going against Eric Fedde. Always look to fade Eric Fedde. I'm going to take the Dodgers here over 9.5. I think at -107. It's a very fair proposition. The White Sox will have their home stadium blowing out almost 20-mile-per-hour winds to right center. This is where we're going to take an over 9.5. I think the Dodgers hit the baseball. I think that they get the Fedde, and I don't trust Sheehan to keep the ball in play as well inside the yard. So I will take the over 9.5. If you wanted to get involved with the Dodgers on the money line at -190, I don't mind that. I would look into potentially even playing Dodgers -190 parlayed with an over 6.5. I think that's a very fair proposition to get the total juice down to around an even number. So if you wanted to parlay Dodgers over 6.5, I could see that one being a very significant value play if you wanted to get involved that way. But I will just take the full game over at 9.5 at minus 107. Now, one player in specific, and yes, we're going to talk about the fan favorite, the Shohei Ohtani number. This is where you look at his statistics over his last 5 to 10 games. Looking at his total bases, he's been a cash cow. He's had 2 total bases in 9 of his last 10. I like that. At minus 120, though, I think we can find some better value if you wanted to look and get involved with his hits, runs, RBIs. You're going to have to go 2.5 at minus 105. Crazy stuff can happen. I like that one, but still at minus 105, not a lot of value. This is where I got interested in this bet. He's hit a home run in 3 straight games, 4 of his last 6, excuse me. But I think that at plus 235 for a long ball, I think we can get a little bit better on the card by taking plus 121, almost making it a multiple unit play. You get the same payout if you put 2 units at 1 RBI at plus 121 versus taking a home run, where there's just a little bit more variance if you just take a home run by itself. So I do like the RBI prop a little bit better, and putting multiple units, you get even a better payout than just 1 home run. So let's take Shohei to get an RBI at plus 121. This will be a separate bet than the Dodgers full game over. They do correlate, and I think that's a great value, getting him plus 121 to have 1 RBI. So 2 bets in the Dodgers game. And like I said, I do lean in that category if you wanted to get involved. Dodgers money line over 6.5. Okay. Next, Houston and Kansas City. Spencer Arrighetti has been phenomenal this year. 7-1 on the year, 2.21 ERA. Going against Kolek. The Astros, though, have not been hitting the baseball. They have won 6 of their last 10. If you wanted to back the Stros, I don't mind that at plus 105 whatsoever. But for me, it's a pass, guys, here in this spot. St. Louis and the Twins. I don't have a play here in this game. The one thing I will tell you guys is that if you want to find a player that has been hitting the baseball, it's a lot of juice to lay, but Alec Burleson, okay, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs is minus 145. He's done this in 10 straight games. He stays hot. I think that the Cardinals have been hot, and he has hit a home run in until yesterday. 4 straight games he has hit a long ball in 5 of his last 10. So another one of those home run bets that you could get involved with. Alec Burleson, RBI, I think is very much in play at plus 143 as well. Love this player from a prop perspective here on this Sunday. Okay. Next, Rockies and A's. We'll talk about that at Coors Field, or I'm sorry, in Vegas. All right. Very similar to Coors Field from a environmental standpoint with those factors to take into consideration. But with Jeffrey Springs and Shigano going, this is one where the total just a little too high for me, 13.5. I think we do get over, though, if we were going to talk about it. But both of these teams combined over their last 10 games, only one time they have scored 14 runs or more. The numbers do change for being in Vegas, and as we do look at the win, it's going to only be about 12 mile per hour, but still with that desert air, I do foresee at least 10 runs. I just don't know if we can get the 14, so this will be a pass for me as well. Cubs and the Giants, Logan Webb going against Rollison, the lefty there for Chicago. I like the Cubbies here to complete the sweep. Plus 122 on the money line. I think they have the better pitcher going. They are playing in a pitcher park, so it is one where I do expect a little bit lower run consideration. I just think that the Cubs can plate more than the Giants, so I would lean Chicago here in this spot. Tampa Bay and the Angels, Grayson Rodriguez going against a pitcher that I can't pronounce his name, but I think that as you do look at Tampa Bay, minus 115, the Angels stay hot, winners of 5 of their last 6. I think that the Rays side would be the side that I would fade Grayson Rodriguez if you forced me to, but no play for me officially. Now, the last game, Sunday Night Baseball, which I'm sure none of you guys will be tuned in on, with UFC rolling in the Stanley Cup. If you look at Connolly Early going against Nathan Eovaldi there for the Rangers. For Boston, I have been looking to fade Connolly a little bit, but Eovaldi is another fade candidate as well. 10 is the runs that we would need to get over the total of 9.5. If you want to take a juiced up 8.5 going over, I could see that one being in play. Fenway will have some wind blowing, but more so to the side, so nothing from the long ball that you would look into. But I think that the Boston-Texas game, we will see runs, and I do like the side of Boston minus 114 at home, just a shade better, and that's how I would lean, okay? But that's it, guys, for official best bets. We'll get into the recap real quick. Thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy your Sunday. Hopefully you all had a great weekend. We'll see you guys back on the channel tomorrow. And the 4 best bets that we will be running, we're going to take 2 in the Dodgers going over 9.5 at -107. We're going to take Shohei to have an RBI plus 121. Don't mind a multiple unit play there on that if you wanted to bet that. Atlanta plus 105 on the money line. And then we're going to take Christopher Sanchez hits, walks, earned runs combined. We're going under the total of 8.5 of those combined on DraftKings only at plus 103. So shooting for some plus money. Let's see what we can pull in here on a 4-bet Sunday. And those are my best bets. Good luck out there. Make sure you guys all like, comment, and subscribe down below on your way out. Say what's up in the comments, and as well, if you want to give me a follow over there on the X Machine at The Better Mark is where you'll find me. Thank you once again, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers.